All right, welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. I'll give you a rundown on all the books that are on my pull list, some things you should keep an eye out for. Basically, a quick rundown to get you prepared before you hit your shop to pick up your books on New Comic Book Day this week. Hopefully, you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so for this week, we're actually going to start off with, well, it's not exactly a secret drop, but I didn't have a place for this. This is more of what might be a surprise to most, not something you're not going to be looking for because it's actually not a comic book that's coming out this week. And what it actually is a trading card game based off of a comic book property that may, be of interest to you if you've liked such oddities and weird things. And the little card set that I'm talking about is the 55 card game set for Ice Cream Man. Popular independent series, anthology horror type stories. A lot of fans there. Could be a lot of interest in this weird little collectible. It's going to be. It's not a deck of playing cards in the sense of like aces and spades and playing poker with, but it's a different sort of collectible card game here that's coming out. It's only $10 to get your little deck of cards. And here's an example of what one of the cards would look like. I'm assuming it's something similar to like a Magic the Gathering or some of those other card based games, but I don't know much about those personally. I'm just not a player of those games. Got nothing against them. I just never learned. So I don't really know how to play them all that well. But I did order myself a set of these cards because I did think this was an interesting concept. And I just wanted to get one. I mean, for $10, I took a shot. But basically, yeah, they're going to look. So they're going to come in what looks like a deck of, a playing card deck, and they're going to be a whole game. I know it says in shops October 1st. That was the original, I guess, release date from Image, but it's coming this week in November. So slightly delayed, but still coming our way. The Mortal Coil Shuffle, a very special issue of Ice Cream Man. Because it looks like you can actually read the story across these cards. So maybe it's not so much of a game, but in the guise of a game, telling you a story, if I'm understanding it right. I know I'm not doing a very good job explaining it. It's just a weird, unique collectible. And if you find it interesting, I wanted to give you a heads up because, again, it could cause a stir in the market. Who knows? Some people might be interested in this if they didn't know about it going in. Like a lot of people might not know until they go to their shop and then they hear it's out and then they missed it. They didn't forget to pick it up. And then by the time they go back, it's gone. So just know if you're interested, pick it up when you go to your shop this week, or even call ahead and ask them to hold you a deck. With that said, now we will get to the top of the stack. This is my top of the pile, first reads, things I can't wait to get a hold of and check out this Wednesday when I get my new books. And at that top of the stack, we are going to be heavy on the DC this week, at least on the Bat side of the family, because two titles I'm a very big fan of are coming out. Batgirl, which I can't sing its praises enough. It's one of my favorite reads of the year. I'm enjoying every issue. Looking forward to issue 13 and continuing the story with Cassandra Cain. Again, never been a huge Batgirl fan, but this run, it grabbed me and I've been digging it. So I'm on board for more. Only two cover options. You got a cover A here, as well as a really sweet cover B, which is probably going to be the one that I'm grabbing. I know I often say, "Well, I pay the extra buck," but in this case, I might. But then again, I like both. There's nothing wrong with the cover A. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get to the shop which one I lean towards. But the other title is mainline regular edition Batman #3. So definite pickup for me. Got to continue this. Fraction Jimenez. Looking forward to more. Seeing where this is going. This is the cover A. There is a Jim Lee cover that I would usually pick up because I'm a big Jim Lee fan. But as of now, I don't know what it looks like. And I can't share it with you because I couldn't find an image of it anywhere. So nobody seems to know what it looks like yet. So maybe we'll find out this Wednesday together. Apart from that, there's a couple other cool options here. I believe this one is this is Tedesco. Yeah, this is a Tedesco cover here. There's a Casada here. Not bad at all. So a lot of good options as far as covers go on Batman #3. If you like the design thing, you can get the design of the Batmobile. I'm not a big fan of these design type covers, but hey, they have their fans, and if you like them, there's your option. Brian Steelfreeze giving us this cool Batman look with the I like the colors and the the perspective on that one. And then we do get a foil edition of that cover A where we'll take the trade dress off of it and make it shiny if you want to go that route. I don't need that. I'm probably going on the blind with the Jim Lee, but I did like the Tedesco and the Casada just as well. Would have been happy, or the Steel Free. I'd be happy basically with anything on this one, including the 1 in 25 David Aja cover, which once again has a very similar vibe to the last two, and I still like them. It reminds me again of those Hawkeye books, the Hawkeye covers from back in the day. So with that said, outside of DC, I do want to get some indie books as well, and the indie books that are topping my list are the EC horror, the sci-fi stuff here, Cruel Universe. Again, Bermejo killing it on the covers here. Loving these, loving that cover. I usually enjoy at least one or two of the stories, and maybe not the whole book, but that's the beauty of an anthology is you got a couple bites at the apple to find something that you're going to enjoy. And with that, looking forward to this issue. Definitely getting the Bermejo here, though the B isn't bad. It's a solid cover, but the Bermejo knocks it out of the park for me. There is a 1 in 10 if you want to go the incentive route, as well as a 1 in 20, which is based off of the B cover. And then we do have that table of contents look for the 1 in 50, which I have no interest in personally. So I'm going with the A and being set with that. Now, from there, Planet Death is coming out with issue 2. And bad idea. I'm enjoying what they're doing right now. I know they're known more for the weird gimmicks and things of that nature, but honestly, the artwork and the stories have been great. I've been liking most of I think all of the titles I've gotten so far since it's sort of a semi relaunch, recently. So looking forward to issue 2 here on Planet Death. Again, art top notch, story is very good as well, and looking forward to more. I think we got the Ordained coming soon. It's another one looking forward to. Cul-de-sac still rolling strong. Couple of covers here. You got an A, you got a B. I'm probably just going with the A. But then again, the B is kind of nice because it is a wraparound. I'll show you that right there. Check that out. That's kind of cool, right? So you can get that wraparound cover on the B, or incentive wise, there's options as well with you got this 1 in 20. We've also got a 1 in 50, which is a black and white Joe Quesada, if you want to go that way. There's a 1 in 100, which is pretty sweet. I love the detail work there. Again, all the art fantastic on this stuff, including this. From what I gather, it's a 1 in 125 metal, odd number, but metal cover. Lionel Francis Yu, I think, did this one, and it just looks really good. I don't know. I dig it, but I'm not paying the price that it would probably cost for this high ratio incentive. I just think that the art, again, is reflective of what they're doing over there these days. Like I said, I'm just enjoying it. With that said, let's move on to the other stuff that I know it should be in top of the stack for me because it is, but I'm also biased, and that is the X-Men event. So right now, X-Men Age of Revelation, still trying to catch up and get through all of it because there are so many titles. I'm doing my best. I am well behind, but still trying to grind through as we're starting to get round 2 of a lot of these books. And like I said, I got some catching up to do, but I'm a fan. I'm an X guy, so I'm going to be getting them regardless. With that said, we're going to start it off this week with Amazing X-Men number 2. So here's our first number 2. We've got cover A here. Not bad. I really like this Stephanie Hans on the B, so I might be grabbing this one personally. And then there is also a 1 in 25 that you can grab. If I'm skipping any covers, it's because you will find them later on in the show. As you know by now, we have those special variant cover sets. So might be covering something else down the line. With that, 1 in 25 featuring Magic. It's not bad. I'm just going to go with the Hans and be happy with that. Moving on. Binary issue 2 also rolling out. And once again, the covers are very, very similar and very, very close and very, very tough to decide which one to get as far as going with the A, the B. I say very similar because it's just a shot of binary and the color scheme is going to obviously be the same, but it's just a tough call of which one to go with. Probably just end up going with the A, maybe the C. C is not bad, but I'm probably not going to pay up for the 1 in 25, but it is probably my favorite of this bunch because I do like the interaction between the two, and it almost has like a Disney kind of vibe to it, almost like a Disney princess fight here. I don't know why, but that's when you look at their faces, that's what I see. But Unfortunately, it's a 1 in 25, so I'm not going to pay the incentive price to get that. So I'll probably just end up with the A and just be done with it. Sabretooth or Laura Kinney Sabretooth is coming out with issue 2 as well. Cover A is not bad, but I think I'm definitely going with the Ashley Witter here. Really good cover. Almost made my top 5 of the week, but it got edged out by the rest. But it made it very, very close. I do like this one quite a bit, and maybe I made the wrong choice. I don't know. You can tell me in the comments down below if I did what your favorite covers are, but this one was in contention for me, the Witter. We also have this option here as well. Not bad. And a 1 in 25 if you want to go the incentive route. But again, for my money, the Witter is the best of the bunch. And finally, long shots. So the fourth title, because they've been coming out in chunks of 4 every week, it seems. And that seems to be kind of the going rate. So it is what it is. Costing me like 20 bucks a week here. Long shots. Not bad. So we've got the cover A. Is that Dustin Weaver, I think, did the A. But I like the Mojo focus here on the B. So I might be going with the B on this one, though we do have a Mojo focus on the C as well. I like long shot being included, I think. So that's the one I'm probably going to go with the B. And there is also a 1 in 25 if you want to go that way. That includes Mojo and the little X babies, or, well, they're not really babies. They're more like little kids at this point. When you look at the picture there, like they look more like not even toddlers. You're going to go a little bit older, like kindergartners or something. But whatever. You want the 1 in 25, it's got everybody on it. With that, to catch you up, I'm probably going to cut this pretty soon, but just to give you a sense, yes, this is how deep we are. Started this whole event back in July. Can you believe that? July, they started teasing this. But October is when it really kicked off. So October is when we really got the first parts. The prologues started over the summer, but running through October, we've got 6 parts, running through 9 parts, week after week. More and more books kept hitting, and it's like, how many titles are we getting here? Because it seems like a lot. And here we are running through October, coming up on November. That was 21 parts. If you're collecting all of them, 21 parts to this before we get to November, where we're starting off with these issues. And Amazing X-Men is considered a core issue, apparently. And we've got these 3, no, make it 4. So 4 this week, topping us off at 25 books so far. So as you can see, with 25 titles, and like I told you, I did get them all. I've got a little bit more reading to do. I'm a little behind, but I'll get there. We'll all get there. With that said, still more on the pull list. This is a heavier week for me personally, as there's a lot of titles and a lot of books of stuff that I do want to get. Even if I'm behind, I still want to get this stuff because I'm excited to read it and get into it. With that, rest of my pull list here, let's go back, I think, starting with DC, because we do got some absolute books. Still loving what they're doing with the Absolute Universe over at DC. A lot of fun, a lot of interesting changes, but the stories themselves are also good. So it's not just, hey, look at this change. We made this different, but it's basically the same. They're really turning things on its head. But apart from that, the stories that tie to them are also been pretty good. So that helps. Green Lantern, number 8, new story starting here. So let's see where we're going with this next story arc on this one. Issue 8, no incentives, but we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 different cover options. So you pick the one that you like best. Again, this is a case where I'll probably save the money and just get the A, because none of the others really stand out. Not that they're bad, but stand out to make me want to pay an extra dollar more than the A. So I'm probably just going with the A personally. Probably the same is going to be the true for Superman as well. So Absolute Superman number 13 is coming out here. It's a Battle of Kansas. Things are heating up. You got Ra's al Ghul and Brainiac, or Ra's al Ghul, if I'm saying it wrong. Interesting stuff. Issue 13. Probably just going to go with this, though the others are nice. Same case here. I think we got 4 other covers to go with this one. All open order. No incentives to worry about. Pick your favorite. But like I said, I'm probably saving the dollar and just going with the A. With that, I kind of have to see through this Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League storyline. I love a good heist story, and I don't know. I've already bitten into this thing, and we're 4 issues in, so I'm probably just gonna ride this out to the end. So here we are with issue 4. This is the cover A, but I'm definitely getting the cover B in this case. This is the Gerard Perel. I dig this cover. It almost looks like a photo a bit, but like an anime sort of cartoonish bit of a photo. I don't know. There's something with the lighting and the soft focus. I dig it. I like it. And the color of purple, I like it. So the whole thing all around, I'm a fan. I'm going to be getting this one. Though there is a third option if you want to go that way. But this one, it's begging for trade dress up top. I don't know why they do all of these with limited trade dress, because this one, there's so much empty space at the top of this. It's just begging for the full trade dress to fill it. And it would probably be a much better, more balanced looking cover. That's just my opinion. With that said, I'm still catching again. I'm behind on so many other things. I'm still kind of catching up on reading about this kung fu crazy story from James Stocco. But Orphan and the Five Beasts Bath of Blood, I bought the entire first run series because I found them very, very cheap online. They're like $1 or $2 an issue. So I grabbed all of those. I'm still trying to play catch up so I can get to this one, the second issue of this next series, because this is just kind of the weird, wonky, crazy kung fu zombie type of stuff that I like. So I don't know. Going to catch up and get into this, but we're getting issue 2 this week, so I'm definitely picking it up and putting it aside so I can catch up on it. With that, GI Joe is kicking off the Dreadnought War. I know a lot of people looking forward to this. Gotta love the Dreadnoughts, right? I mean, they've been kind of a staple in this series since the beginning, but now things are going to amp up, and I'm going to see a few more of our favorites kind of popping up here. Issue 13, cover A. We got a Spears on the cover B, which ain't bad. This would have been a contender for Nut Shot of the Week because we get that undercarriage shot right there, right at Cobra Commander's junk. But it's actually not that bad. It's not like there's like some huge bulge or something there, like just staring you in the face. It's just, that's just the angle. We're getting that shot, that nut shot. So with that, I think I'm getting both because I think I still pre-order both. Some places when you pre-order, you're only paying half covers. So in my head, I've just been getting both covers on some titles like this and Transformers because there's usually an A and a B before you get the incentives. And I've just been doing it for so long that I'm kind of automatic at this point, even though it seems silly that I don't need 2 copies of all these. And I kind of do like the Spears better. Out of these two, probably like the Spears. But then again, now they're giving me a third option here with the Ben Oliver, which is going to focus in on different Dreadnought headshots. So that is kind of enticing. It's almost like a cover set all of its own. And there's a blank if you want to go the blank route. But we'll see. There's also a die cut cover, which could be fun. It's going to have like I'm assuming the holes cut in for those bullet holes. And then you open it up, it's going to have a different image. But die cut cover is kind of fun. Though it costs, I think, $1 or $2 more. It's $5.99. So keep that in mind as well. And then we do have another die cut, but a foil. It's one of those mask covers that they've been doing. This time out is Destro. Here, give you a better look at the whole thing, so you can see that it's kind of a wraparound action there. And I think you can kind of like cut it out, pop it out, or whatever if you want. It's up to you. I don't know who would at this point, but you could do it. But they got that option as well. And then we got the incentives. Surprisingly, no 1 in 10s. We've been doing the 1 in 10s on every Skybound issue up to now, like Void Rivals, Transformers, all of these G.I. Joes, and all of the miniseries. But I keep looking, and I don't think, unless the Dreadnought heads are 1 in 10s and I'm misinformed, I don't think there's a 1 in 10 here. So that's kind of throwing me off. Nor is there anything connecting, because next we have the 1 in 25. So again, featuring like that card back kind of look. Cool. I really dig the 1 in 50, though I don't want to pay 1 in 50 prices here of Zatara. I was going to say it's Zatanna, but it's easy to confuse the two names. Very, very close. But I really do like this cover by Kendrick Lim. Pretty sure this is Kendrick Lim. And then we do have a 1 in 100 by Lubo, who does the Ghost Pepper. Dig his style too, because it's kind of Joe Mad like. So I do kind of like this Destro, but it's also a 1 in 100. I'm not paying 1 in 100 prices, especially not paying 1 in 50 prices, and that's probably one of my favorites this week. That cover, but it is what it is. Moving on, Rook Exodus number 8. Continuing on, I haven't read 7 yet, so here's a case again. One behind, but I really enjoyed the first arc of this storyline. I'm pretty sure I'll be down for more of this, so I'm definitely picking this up without a doubt. Cover A, very, very solid. Those headshot zoom ins on the bees, also really cool if you're collecting those. And then there is a connecting cover set also running at the same time. So here we go with the wolf, and then you got the Rook kind of coming together. So if you take last issue, mix it with this issue, we're starting to build a much bigger mural image here, which is always fun, always cool. So we'll see where this thing ends up. But for now, there are 2 parts. And then there is a pretty solid 1 in 20 by Derek Chu. So kind of like that. Speaking of Void Rivals is also coming out with their 24th issue. That's right, 24th issue before they wrap things up to move on to the next. They're going to have a war too, but we'll get into that next issue or next time out, because I think we got a month before we got to worry about that. But Void Rivals number 24, it's coming out. A couple of covers, A, B, featuring a couple of our Transformer buddies here, and they are still doing the 1 in 10 thing. So for the 1 in 10s connecting covers, this is wrapping up this connecting cover set, which I think ran 6 or 7 deep. 24, and then we got to go back. So let's take a look at this whole thing. I think it's done by Martin Matazzaro, if I'm not mistaken. But here we go. I'm going to grab a drink while we run through this. So we got those 1, 2, and then I'll keep it rolling here. And you can see the full connecting cover image as it goes. There we go. Set that down there. And one more. Yep. So it goes back to 19. So 6. All right. So 6 cover set. And then we're going to kick off a new storyline with the next issue. But before we get there, we got a 1 in 25 before we get to issue 25, featuring Pythona, done by Danny. Pretty solid cover there. 1 in 50 seems more designy. Again, not a big fan of these, but they're all kind of cool. They, especially when you get like in a collection or a set, it just reads or looks more like the interior page of like a source book to me than a cover. Especially 1 in 50, the price you're gonna have to pay for these things. But with that said, those are your Void Rival options, and then we'll go over to Marvel. Gotta get Amazing Spider-Man number 15. New suit, new alien, new nemesis. So we got Peter Parker up in space. We got Norman holding it down, mixing it up with Ben Reilly as well here on the streets of New York. A lot of fun, a lot of interest, covering both sides of things. So we got cover A. We got a few options here. Then we got to focus on the cosmic side of things here with this B cover. And then we can go over here with the Lee Bermejo doing the Amazing Visions. But honestly, this one is I'm not that big a fan of. I don't know what it is about this. It's just, it's not my favorite. I've loved the entire run of these Amazing Visions covers, but this particular one doesn't read MJ at the door with the face at Tiger. It reads lady up the street knocking on the door because she wants to bum the Marlboro Reds off of you. I don't know. It's just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. So moving on. We're going to go with this option here, the USA 250 homage variant, which kind of takes this image that usually references or the calendar from before. So here's the calendar image. We're going to, where did I put it? There it goes. Pull it in here so you can see there. There it is. And they kind of extended it to make it a cover. But yeah, there's the calendar image, which is also an option if you want to go that route. And then we got a 1 in 25 if you want to go the incentive thing. And then there is also a 1 in 100 of MJ coming to bum some smokes. So, but virgin, if you want it. Not for me. It'll be interesting to see how it does. I mean, it's not like it's a terrible cover. It's just, I also think it's just the lighting. I don't know. It's just something. And the lighting matches the rest of them. I don't know what it is. It's just not hitting for me. But Moon Knight. I'm a little behind on Moon Knight, but I have been enjoying McKay's run. So I'm going to keep getting these. I'll catch up. We got the Red Scarab teaming up. We got the Wrecker. I know, still running through things in here. Issue 14. Couple of cool covers. We got the A, solid. We got a Stormbreaker cover. Not too bad, though. Interesting, like, design there with almost like the reverse negative of, Moon Knight there with the blacks and the whites. It's a different look. And then when there's a C cover. And then a really nice Lucio Perillo 1 in 25, which is one of my favorites of the week. This incentive is pretty cool. Makes me wonder, like, why haven't we had more Perillo Moon Knight covers? And I want more of them now. So with that, if you haven't tried Whatnot yet, use the link down below, sign up, give it a shot. because you get 15 bucks for free just to give it a try. I mean, you help out the channel by doing so if you buy something, but you also save 15 bucks if you buy something on your first purchase just by giving it a shot. So if you haven't tried it before, live auctions, they do have buy it now stuff as well. It's not just comics. Take a look around, give it a shot, spend 15 bucks, and then, if you don't want to do it anymore, you don't have to. Just use the free money that's there. And with that, let's move on to blind picks. So this is going to be my pick. I only got one this week on the blind of something that I think is going to be solid, and I'm just going to be picking it up, and I'm recommending it on the blind. So what am I looking at this week that I think is going to be good? Well, I'm a fan of Marvel. I'm a fan of the cosmic stuff. We're going to move away from the X stuff because it's a whole event. It's kind of hard to recommend somebody dipping in there when you got a huge event going on. And same thing even with the cosmic stuff, because we had Imperial running, but Imperial is now over. And with Imperial over, there are some repercussions. And one of those repercussions is we've got She-Hulk sitting on planet Sakaar or whatever. So planet She-Hulk, basically. So we had Planet Hulk before. Now we got Planet She-Hulk. I think it's an interesting take. We'll see where this goes. See where we got a lot of cool covers here as well. We got a cover A. Jenny Frison giving us a B cover, which is probably going to be the one that I get, even though I do like the A. But it's Frison. I think I need to get the Frison. There is a C option here, too. Not bad. I think that's Torrin Clark. Then we also got a foil. If you like the shiny foil, big old sword. So we've talked about this before. How many characters these days have big old swords? Miles got a big old sword. Iron Man had a big old sword for a while. Magic's got a big old sword. She-Hulk's got a big old sword. Absolute Wonder Woman's got a big old sword. Everybody's ripping off Final Fantasy VII and his big old sword. Just saying. Moving on. 1 in 25. There is a 1 in 25. Not bad. I think it's Fan Yang. So pretty solid. And then we've got 1 in 100 of the Frison, but without the trade dress bits. So if you want that, keep an eye on that one as well. It could probably see some interest because, well, she's still a popular artist. She-Hulk's still a popular cover muse. And those two things generally equal dollars at times. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Not always the case, but oftentimes they could hit. With that said, here's a book I'm on the fence about. This is usually things that I'm still kind of hanging on or picking up, but I might be dipping out if the story doesn't keep grabbing me. And that's where I find myself here with this next arc of a story that I kind of enjoyed the first one, but I just don't know if I have the time or the money to keep investing in assorted crisis events. So I kind of like the weird timey-wimey stories that were like one shots loosely connected, somewhat not really an anthology, kind of like an anthology, but all time sci-fi related, but with like regular people. It's kind of cool. But like I said, I don't know if with all these other books coming out right now, if I can hold. So we'll see how this next story arc grabs me as they're starting a new arc here with issue 6. This is cover A. There is a B. Then we've got this weird Youngblood kind of reverse shot, which is also kind of weird. Kind of fun too. But it's also a wraparound. So if you want to see the butts of all the Youngblood characters, here you go. You get to see all of, well, from their sides, some butts, but just mostly sides. And then if you like it in black and white, we got black and white butts for you too. So there you go. You can get that. And those apparently are all open order, no incentives. So pick whichever one you like. Now, before we move on, I got one more thing, and that is to remind you guys, if you need supplies, to use my code RENA10 over at BCW to save yourself 10% off your entire order, getting your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, your top loaders, your pages for cards, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You can get it over at BCW, and you can save yourself 10% off your entire order by using my code RENA10. You help out the channel. You save yourself some money on supplies, things you need to get anyway. So what you got to lose? Now, here's something I do have to lose, and that's some books that I have to leave on the rack because, well, I do not have an infinite amount of income and an infinite amount of spending money as it cards of comics. I do have a budget, and the line has to be drawn somewhere, and this is kind of where it is. Now, first off, over on DC, I've been in and out of this title, bouncing in and out. That's Birds of Prey. It's been good. It's been all right. And it's just one of those things that Again, budget concerns, usually you find this on the chopping block before others. This is the A. I like the B here. I think this is a Christian Ward cover. That I really like the B cover on this one. If I were still picking it up, I think we might have a Serge Acuna. I think it's a Serge Acuna doing the third one, and then we do have a Francavilla, I think, on the last one. So all solid options if you're still picking up your Birds of Prey. Avengers is another case of a team book that I start reading for a while and then I just kind of lose interest. I don't know why that happens to me with team books like that, but it always does. Avengers, Justice League, every time they restart, I'm like, okay, I get excited. Let me see this lineup. Let's see how they work. Let's see the character dynamics. And then by the sixth issue and the first arc is over, I go, all right, I've had enough. It finds its way like lower and lower in the pile of the book. You know, when you're selecting your books to read, and then like a book comes to the top, and you go, "And I don't want to read this right now," and then you pass it, and then you pass it again, and then you pass it again. Once I do that a few times, that's when I realize, you know what, I just need to put this book down. I can't keep spending $4 a month just out of habit on everything. With that said, cover A. Avengers cover B here with the Marvel Comics Presents, which are the ones where the characters are reading other comic books. In this case, we've got Vision reading a 1776 book, which I don't even think is out yet, but cool. And then we've got Thor, who tricked me on this one because they do these like character focus covers, and then they do a Virgin version on the incentive, but they didn't do it this time, and I thought it was a mistake. This is what they did on the 1 in 25. They tricked me and put it as Beta Ray Bill, and I couldn't really see it on a small picture. So for a while there, I was trying to figure this out, and then I realized, oh, it's Beta Ray Bill. That's why. And they kept the trade dress. Cool. Miles. Mentioned him and his big sword. I just haven't really been reading Miles, but it's still rolling. Issue 40. Rabble's Reign is, still one of the Miles' early villains, still fighting it out there. I don't know if this is any good. If it's good, please tell me if I should be picking this up. But it's just a title, again, I haven't been keeping up on. I really didn't like the hoodie outfit for a while there. I'm more of a fan of this one, but I still like his OG original. Just bring it back. But with that, this is the cover A. Cover B is kind of fun with them playing video games there in the room. You got the Mary Jane's poster on the wall. Fun little nods there. Yeah, you like there's other little Easter eggs hidden here and there. But then we do have a Bagley 1 in 25, if you want to go that route. Moving on from there, Spirits of Violence. Again, I keep wanting to say Spirits of Vengeance. So we got all these different Ghost Riders battling it out. I'm not a huge Ghost Rider guy. I've read a lot of different runs from here and there, dipped in and out. But here, apparently, we got Blaze and Ketch, and you got Helverine, and you got Phantasma, and you got every Ghost Rider that we know of, all mixing it up. And I guess they're all fighting each other. I don't know. But issue 2 is coming out. There's a Stormbreaker cover here. Kind of cool looking, though. I kind of do like that design and just simple Ghost Rider on a bike. And then we've got this one, female Ghost Rider with a sword. I don't remember this one. And then I do know this is the little sidekick, that Phantasma character or whatever, here on the 1 in 25. So grab them if you like them. I went through like the first 10 or 12 issues of Ultimate X-Men, but it just never caught on with me. Again, just personal thing. Ultimate X-Men 21 at this point. It's still going strong with Peach Momoko doing it. We've got multiple covers here. A's and B's and C's and even a 1 in 25 that I actually really like. I do like this one. I don't know why. It's very, very simple. Looks like Rogue just reading a book, but I like it with the lighting. It looks like more like something out of Pride and Prejudice than an X-Men book, but I dig it. Yeah. With that, I guess I should have just kept up with this Post Malone's Big Rig, but I just never found the time to sit down to read it to see if it was actually any good. And we already got to issue 4, and this apparently is the end of this first arc. So maybe I should have stuck with it because I think I dropped after 2. I don't know. Tell me if it's any good. It's just one of those things. It was kind of an interesting concept. I was like, let me grab it and give it a try. And then I never got around to it. And then like issue 2 came out. And I was like, well, I guess I got to keep up. Well, what if I want issue 2? And then here we are. So it's on the rack for me. Number 4, wrapping things up. Speaking of Peach Momoko, she also has a cover here. Then this almost made it into this Tyler Kirkham, almost made it into the Cheesecake area. But then I figured, well, I'm just going to put it in the on the rack because there's other covers here to talk about that aren't cheesecakey, like this Maria Wolf on the 1 in 10. And then we've got a black and white version of it. So it's on the 1 in 25. Almost looks like a Templar Logan, just truck driver with a big old sword. I don't know. And I almost put this one also on the fence, but to be honest, I think I forgot to pick up the first issue, so I think I'm behind anyway on Skin Police 2. I did like the first run, but similar to the Assorted Crisis events, I don't know if I have enough in me to do another mini right now. So I might just wait it out until it's done and either grab the whole set for like as a lot for cheap or find a trade. I don't know. But issue 3 is coming out this week with a creepy cover. I dig it. But it's just on the rack at this point because I haven't gotten all of them. I know, and I'm not up to date on what Series 2 is doing. And then there's the B cover, kind of creepy. And then they take the trade dress off of that creepy cover, and that's the 1 in 10 option here. Now, moving on, we do have new number ones. So there's other stuff kind of tantalizing and tempting your wallet to open up a little bit further and throw a few more bucks out there to grab some new stuff. And let's see if any of this is worthwhile. As I said, I'm getting the Planet She-Hulk. So that's one new number one I'm getting. Sorry, excuse me. But I don't think I'm going to be grabbing this Space Scouts. This is at a Dark Horse, magazine-sized science fiction, action, adventure sort of thing. I just, $8. It's almost like the distillery stuff. Yes, you're getting oversized, usually better printed on better paper, all that top-notch stuff, but it just gets too pricey for me. We got an A and you got a B option. Pick whichever one you like if you want to get that. And then apparently, because people demanded it, we're getting a Harley and Ivy series, so we can see these two as dating. I mean, I know they have dated before, and we had the whole animated series over on HBO Max, but if it's not going on in the regular universe, is this like telling old stories? Or is this an alternate universe? Like what? I don't know the point of why we need this right now. But we're getting it. Yeah, so cover A. I do like this cover B by Elizabeth Torque. I like the surprise on Poison Ivy's face. It's kind of a fun little cover. And then we've got more just couple shots here by Lyrics. Who did this one? Zerdy gave us this one. And then there's a foil version of the Zerdy where we take some of the extra stuff off and make it shiny. Cool. Image giving us another one shot for Impact Winter. This being Evenfall. If you're keeping up on this, I think this got optioned or something, so they might be making something out of this property. I don't know much about it, but as far as I know, there's not a lot to catch up because I think it's like a lot of one shots. So one of these days I'll check it out. Looks like we're snowy vampires. 30 Days a Night. Is that what we're looking at? 1953 Cold War. I don't know. I see fangs, so I'm thinking vampire. I'm probably going to give this a shot because it's Alien versus Captain America. I'm all about aliens right now. Just the Alien Earth, great show. Looking forward to more, and Predators as well. So even with all these weird comic combos and mashups, I've been interested in these two because it's kind of fun. But Alien versus Captain America, I'm probably going to check this out. You got a Lionel Francis Yu on the cover A. We got another option here. Innie Huck Lee doing the B. Also, solid cover, solid option. I usually don't like foil, but this is the Dan Panosian, and I'm a big Dan Panosian fan, and I do dig this design. I just got to buy it in foil, I guess. Then we do have a 1 in 25. Not bad, but I don't think I need the incentives here. We got another one with a 1 in 50 Noto, if you want to go that way. And then there is a 1 in 100, which is that cover A, Lionel Francis Yu, but, no trade dress. So it's a cool cover. But like I said, I'm probably going to end up buying that shiny foil Panosian because it's Dan Panosian, and I'm a Dan Panosian fan. With that, Echo. So we're also getting a new Echo, I guess, mini. I don't know if this is a one-shot or if it's going to kick off into a mini, but Echo, Seeker of Truth. I don't know. David Mack cover, solid. Maria Wolf cover here, also solid. I like them both. I don't know if I'm grabbing. This is going to be like an impulse buy. I'm going to open it up, flip through it, and see if I want to grab it. But all three, actually, of these covers aren't bad, in my opinion. So you can't go wrong, I guess. With that, Rome. You know what? I actually do like stories in ancient Rome, so this is kind of tempting. So Circus Maximus. Granted, I don't love the title Circus Maximus, but it is historical after all. But Rome, 64 AD, maybe I check this out. I don't know. Like I said, I kind of like that era. I missed the Rome on HBO. That never got a real ending to me. So yeah, I don't know. Might check this out. Only two covers. You can choose the A or the B. Francavilla on the B. Pick whichever one you like. But I mean, Gladiators, Rome. All right, you got my attention. You like gladiator movies, Billy? Sorry, airplane. Crownsville. Don't know much about this one, but it's issue 1/5 out of Oni. A lot of explanation of what it is, but I don't have the patience to read these things. I just jump off of cover images and I look at creator names, and if they look familiar, and I go, "Do I want to give this a shot?" And actually, flipping through a book too also kind of sells me because I want to know if the cover matches the interiors. Because I've been baited and switched plenty of times. Where I'm like, "Ooh, this cover's awesome." Ooh, the interior's not so great. But who knows? I don't know much about this title, but issue 1/5 is coming out, and they're backing it with a lot of covers. So here's the A. We got a B, not bad. C cover, also pretty solid. And then we got a 1 in 10, which is a virgin, obviously that one. And then we're gonna move on over to 1 in 20, and then we'll make that black and white the 1 in 50, I believe. Right? You gonna go? Oh, I gotta hit the button. My bad. But there you go. So yeah, pretty cool covers. Curious, but I don't know if I got any leeway, any extra this week for my wallet to go and pick up anything extra. Same goes for this death dog. I'm assuming it's a big robotic dog. Something about near future America. A 13-year-old boy is accused of shoplifting and then murderous robot police dog. I don't know. But death dog out of Ahoy. If you want to pick it up, you got an A and you got a B with your death dog in his Snoopy shack. Doctor Who. Yes, the current doctor or the last doctor, because he kind of was not really the current doctor anymore. They already kind of showed the regeneration. Though I am way behind on watching this. I didn't watch any of is it Nikuti Gatwa? I always pronounce his name wrong. But I didn't really watch much of his run. And I am a Doctor Who fan. It's just one of those shows that I just lost touch with lately. And I got to get back. With that said, I don't think I'm going to pick up the comic outside of a particular cover because I don't really read the Doctor Who comics. I know they've been out running for a while now. I pick a few covers that I like out of runs, but we got the A, you got a photo, not bad. Um, B's and C's. I mean, there's so many covers. You can get lost all in this for the books, but I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to miss out on, and that is one of my favorite artists, and I've been singing his praises for ages now. Flops. So Flops doing a Doctor Who cover is cool. He is over in the UK, so Doctor Who is very intrinsically tied to, the UK. So I'm sure he was pretty excited about making this cover. In our little chat, he mentioned it because there's also a black and white version, a color your own. So basically, you can color your own. Remember when they did the He-Man book that you can color? You'll be able to color your own Doctor Who book too to see if you choose a different color palette than what Flops gave us on his. So I think I ordered one of each because I might give it a shot. With that said, yeah, grab your Flops Doctor Who. And then finally, I think this is the last new number one out of Ignition. I'm finally getting used to the key and what that it looks like an eye logo is for this new publisher. And this is a new series called No Place by Tim Seeley. So, okay. Again, I don't know if I have it in me to start new stories and stuff right now with just my budget, but it looks kind of cool. You got a tiger coming out of a door. I don't know what's going on here. Mythical, magical world on the other side of a door. I guess so, because look, that's the same story being told on the B cover. I'm kind of intrigued. And then there's a pretty cool 1 in 5. So there you go. Grab it if you like. Oh, this is not the end. I forgot. I had to put Dynamite here at the end. So Dynamite is also giving us Pumira. Was that how you say her name? I don't remember her from the show. Uh, so yeah, Pumira. Get it if you want it. I haven't been getting these Thundercats comics. Just way too many covers for me. I mean, look, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and yeah, they have multiple versions of these, and foil ones, and virgin ones, and black and white ones, and just way too many covers for my taste. Dynamite, it just buries you in covers, which is why I end up not getting titles that I think I might normally get. Like, I do like Thundercats, though I don't think I need 4 different Thundercat titles running at once. I mean, even if they're one shots mixed in, I'm just saying, because you've got the mainline Thundercat title, right? Then you got that Thundercats Lost. There's 2. You're trying to bilk people for. Now I don't want to say bilk, but there's 2 you're already making, and then you got that Chitara one, and now you got this Pumira one, and yeah, it's just too much. Too much content. I know some people's like, how can you be mad about too much content? Too much choice sometimes causes, freezing, and then you don't get any of it. So if there was one title, I might be interested. You give me 4, I'm not in for 4 titles a month. Dynamite, Blood Red, yeah, I think it's like an anthology or some sort. But there you go. I almost put this over in the Cheesecake side, but not all the covers were that cheesecakey, if you will. There's a Godtail. That's kind of fun. Then there's also a sketch one, and we got this option over here. And then we got one more over here. And then again, all the different other versions that you can get with the variations of virgin and black and white, etc. And we're also getting another blind bag because Dynamite has apparently gone deep on these blind bags. We've had a couple of them the last few weeks, all from Dynamite. I know Marvel's still coming, and DC has done theirs, and we still have Mark Spears doing his over at Keenspot. And yeah, I haven't seen any from Image since Battle Beast, but blind bags are here. Love them or hate them, they're still here. I'm more of a fan of those cover price ones, like the Spears one or the Image Battle Beast one, because it's just like regular cover, you take a shot. These premium priced ones, and I started thinking it's not exactly the same. So this is another premium price bag. I think it's $10. Not as bad as I think the last couple were 15. I don't know. It's just, again, and also the title's not really for me anyway, but it just seems like too much. And then I also don't understand if I'm reading this right, but this says this blind bag contains 2 separate limited edition copies of an Action Pack first issue. So I don't know if that means if we've got one of 2 covers that you can get, or am I getting actually 2 comics inside this bag? It's got to be one of 2 covers. But if it's only one of 2 covers, then why does it have to be a blind bag? It's only 2 options. You get an A or a B. And then I guess there's other things, probably these hidden treasures mixed in as well. Like it's like, oh, one of ones, but I don't know. It seems like a lot to ask to only have 2 options. Granted, I'm not saying everybody needs to do 90 because that's a bit too much. Not a bit. That's way, way too much for my taste. But I'm sure we can all find a happy medium somewhere in there. With that said, let's check out the facsimiles this week because we only got a couple. Old school DC, I believe. We're going with Batman, getting that Joe Chill origin story in Batman 47. So pick that up if you want it. $5 for the regular, $6 I think for the sketch version, and $7 for the foil version. Which, if you didn't notice, that was the foil version, and it's $7.99. I'm sorry, $7.99. Yeah, okay, so the foil is $2 more than everything else. Cool. Then we got Sabrina. So Sabrina the Teenage Witch, her #1, getting the facsimile treatment as well. And then we've got another cover option if you want to go that with something new. I know the Archies gave us those pinups as covers last week. Now we're getting just different cover art here. I don't know if it's going to end up being black and white like it is now, or if that's just black and white art that was teased. But there is your other facsimile cover option. Before we get to later prints, and this week we have no 9th, 10th printing, 13th printing Transformers, yada, yada. Only seconds. So here we go. Second printings. Well, you know who's leading the charge on the second printings? That would be DC in the Absolute Universe. Granted, they're already up to 9 printings on Absolute Batman 1, but for most of the other titles, Absolute Flash, second print for issue 6. In case you missed out, you got a second printing. Green Lantern number 5 gets a second printing. Martian Manhunter, issue 6, also gets a second printing. That's for the absolute stuff. And then in case you missed out on your crypto, issue 1 and issue 2 of the crypto series have gotten second printing, which I'm shocked at. I guess people are buying crypto books. I just don't personally need to read a book about crypto. I don't know. Call me crazy. Same thing with Jeff Delandshark. It's just not my deal. With that said, I gotta check this out still. I did get this, but I haven't had a chance to read it. And now apparently there's already a second print for Viking Moon. I like the idea of a big old werewolf Viking fighting a werewolf. It's a cool concept. I want to read this. I have it somewhere. I gotta find my copy, but second printing is coming out this week. Adventure Time, number 1, this bubbling college. I'm not an Adventure Time guy. It came after me, so I know a lot of fans, cult following, etc. This was just something that hit the Cartoon Network past my time, like after South Park and all that stuff. Planet Death. In case you missed Planet Death issue 1, since issue 2 is out, you can go grab issue 1 in the second printing as well. And with that, let's get to the Marvel variants because DC isn't offering any just yet to start off the month. But Marvel is kicking us off with the 30th anniversary of Toy Story. That's right. So that means we are getting actually only 3. We're only getting 1 this week, but we'll be getting 3 homage covers. The first one being this one on Avengers 32, which is obviously Avengers 4. So you got a fun little, little thing. And I like, again, they do the 1-for-1, everything kind of matches. But yeah, pick it up if you like it. And if you're a big Toy Story fan, there's, like I said, there's only gonna be 3. As far as I'm aware of, there's only gonna be 3 coming out this month. Unlike this next series, which most of these cover series we've been seeing lately have only been like 10 or 12. But this Streetverse series by In-Hyuk Lee apparently is running 20 deep. So there will be 20 covers of these almost fashion style. It's like fashionista versions of our Marvel characters in this Streetverse. Interesting concept. I don't think I'm running for all 20 of these, but some of them got cool designs. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man 15. So Spidey featuring our newest kicks and our bomber jacket with, scarf, Beats headphones. I don't know. I'm not going to do this, but there is a regular cover option as well as a 1 in 50 virgin option. So keep that in mind. And that again was for ASM. Was it 15? And then you'll see some of our other Marvel titles in here because this week we are getting a handful of them. So a handful of these Streetverse every week. It's going to be like 5 or 6. Amazing X-Men number 2, pretty cool. You got the ripped jeans, dragon design going for her. And then 1 in 50 virgin version. Avengers 32 is giving us Black Panther in his newest coat with a fuzzy collar. 1 in 50 also. And then we got like these, just color block boxes behind, which I guess is a nice design choice, especially with the cityscape. I mean, I kind of wish they were in a cityscape, maybe. Because it's Streetverse, so I think I would like to see it with a city background. But I mean, I get it. This is more like a fashion mag kind of vibe, and who speaks more fashion mag vibe than our boy Miles Morales here? Cool. Grab them if you like them. I just so many other covers that, like I said, to me, it's just not a set I need to chase. And a 1 in 50 virgin version of that, and then finally, Planet She-Hulk. So even though we're telling a story about She-Hulk on a far-off planet of war and gladiators, let's see what she's shopping for on the regular, eating a cookie and bringing home some bread. After a good workout, I guess, because she's got her workout gear on. And a 1 in 50 if you're interested in that as well. And like I said, whole bunch coming our way. This week we had 5. We've got 6 coming next week. Or actually, I think it's only 5 because I think Unbreakable X-Men got pushed to the 19th. and then we'll see where we go from there. Because I already did a short for these and covering 2 weeks. I'll do this in 2 chunks because, like I said, it's 20. So I'll do 10 and 10. Seemed like the best way to cut them up. But with that, let's move on to Cheesecake because we don't have a lot. We don't have a lot. I made some calls where I didn't put some of the books that I could have put in here, and we have no regular Red Sonjas. We got no Zenoscopes to speak of. So we're only really looking at Poison Ivy this week. And even that, I always hesitate to put in here, but some of the covers are just really good Cheesecake covers, if you like that kind of thing. Not so much the cover A's. The cover A's, solid art. I love the, is it Seraphong? I do love these covers on the cover A's. Been doing very, very well. But it's usually the other options. Like we got the Eom here, where you get more of the Chesty LaRue style. We've got the Nubovich, giving you a little bit of both. And then I forget who the artist is on this one, but this is actually my favorite of the pack. I don't know why. I just like the angle and the look in the eye and the tilt of the head. I dig it. And then we'll bring the Eom back, and that will be a foil version as well. If you take a little bit of that trade dress off, if you want to go that way. No incentives to speak of, and we are 38 issues into a Poison Ivy run, which is still shocking to me. And when I read the synopsis of all these issues, I feel like it's always reads the same to me. Like every issue is like, wait, it's still the same, like half dozen characters, still just doing what? I don't know because I'm not reading it. But they've got covers that always grab my attention. If it's good, please tell me if I'm making a bad joke about a good title. I mean, it's running 38 issues, so there's got to be something going on the insides, right? It can't just be for covers. Otherwise, it would just be pinup of the week. We might as well just make it a Gotham Sirens pinup book. Anyway, covers. We got a couple other covers to speak of before we wrap up the show today. Not a lot of titles to cover here. Again, just something I couldn't fit anywhere else. But I also just think the covers across the board on this are solid, even though I'm not picking this up. This would normally have just fallen off on the rack. But this Godzilla series by Tim Seeley, it's just not my cup of tea of what I was looking for Godzilla. But these covers are pretty cool. There's the A. We got the Stoko here on the B, I guess. We call that one the B. More of a classic look. Well, actually, not really classic. This is actually more of a design that's more of a recent Godzilla head kind of look here by Jared Collum. Don't know much of that artist, but I like it. And then we'll bring back the Stoko and take the trade dress off, and that is our 1 in 25 incentive variant that nearly made my list of favorite incentives this week. And one that did sneak in there, beating it out, was this Red Shirts. So while the other covers on the Red Shirts were pretty good, and again, I'm not a Star Trek guy, I like the blood smattering here of this red shirt. It's just a cool looking cover on this 1 in 10 by Skylar Partridge. It just draws my eye. So I did make this one in my top 5, but not the best of the week, but it was in the top 5. For the best, well, I have these. And again, you can agree, disagree, tell me what your favorites are. But for me, my favorites of this week, incentive-wise, first, was that Perillo. That Lucio Perillo Moon Knight. I want more Perillo Moon Knight covers, personally. I want more of this. So, whether they're 1 in 25s or not, I mean, I hope they're not 1 in 25s because I won't be able to afford it. But give me more Lucio Perillo giving me Moon Knight covers because I like it. And keep Libramejo rolling here on these, these EC horror titles, EC titles with the Cruel Universe. I like what he's doing all over those. I like what he's doing on Spider-Man as well. Even though I made jokes about the MJ this week, I'm still on board for more of those amazing visions because the rest of them, MJ this week, just not for me. That's all. And it happens. Just not for me. And with that, that's all I got for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found that helpful and informative and got you ready to go to the shop this week. I just want to thank you again for stopping by and supporting the channel, checking this show out, as well as all the other content that we have here on the channel. Please check it all out because the boys do put in a lot of work on their live shows that they put in. And I've mostly been focusing in on the recorded stuff of late, but plenty more coming your way. Trying to get back on that regular schedule. I know I keep saying it over and over again, but one thing after another keeps throwing me off. And I know we'll have Thanksgiving coming up soon too to throw us all off. But for now, try to churn things out, get you that content that hopefully you're enjoying. And I'll see you soon with some more of it. All right. Later.